Okay, so I know that it's really funny, as someone who maybe is not, or even is queer, to joke around or even like seriously suggest that people who scream the loudest with their homophobia might just be like gay themselves, a little gay inside, or they're like super gay and they're just closeted. And I'm not discounting that never happens. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that like it's false, but the way we talk about things matters. And addressing that in a flippant way or in a joking way actually compounds harm. And here's how. People are having conversations and people are buying into what this person is saying, and there are kids probably in that church that also have to stand there and like be present maybe to listen to this bullshit that this person says, right? So if we want to disrupt the kind of harm that somebody who's in an audience listening to a message like that might cause in our community, then we need to recognize how we might also be causing harm in our community. And we can do that by listening to queer people. And I'm queer, and so I've been having this kind of conversation. This to me harkens back to the whole using gay as an insult, the whole like that's so gay, and I don't know if you remember that, but I was part of a team in Tulsa at Youth Services of Tulsa, where we went around and did skits to try to teach people that was like something that is really harmful to say, because it's equating the idea that gay is derogatory. And when we do this about people who have internalized homophobia is the reason why, and that's what you call it whenever a queer person has like homophobia, that's called internalized homophobia. I don't know, maybe that's a broader term too, but that's what I would call it. And so when we perpetuate that idea that, because I hear it every time, and we don't also talk about the nuance that it is not actually always gay people who do that, and it is actually as a result of maybe like authoritarian parents also. When it is that, like, we should draw it past the gay person having internalized homophobia making them more abusive and more violent, which, like, I'm not saying that it doesn't, but what that contributes to then is a lot of conversations that I've actually been party to in my family, where people then want to take that and then also have the perspective that queer people are inherently more abusive, which comes from a Christo-fascist worldview. And we can't help that people in Oklahoma have that worldview. There are a lot of people who even did not want to have that worldview, grew up in that worldview. And if you give them like something to latch onto that says, yes, I knew that queer people were inherently abusive, then it's gonna take even longer for us to pry their fucking fingers off of the fact that there is nothing more inherently abusive about any particular person. But queer people are more abused, and we have to endure a lot more bullshit in a Christo-fascist fucking worldview society. So maybe that's more the factor that we should lean on, is that violence has roots, and those roots are in Christianity and in Christo-fascism and in conservatism in our country right now. And those are the things that we need to be addressing, and not taking it to it's probably just internalized homophobia. That guy who is homophobic, the loudest homophobic people, are actually just super gay themselves. And I know that it seems funny to people. It's not funny to me. It's not funny to a lot of queer people. It's actually really harmful. And I've had that kind of message again around me all of my life, having to deal with people. And I've just escaped my family. I've had to cut off people in my family. I've had to completely, like, to just get peace. So can you, if you're trying to be an ally, can you please listen and understand that, like, we need to create dynamics, interpersonal and group dynamics, where we are willing to disrupt these things and say, hey, I think that the thing you're doing might be rooted in harm. I know that you think it's rooted in a joke. I know that you think it's rooted in this or that or whatever. You just think it's this. You think it's this deep. But I can see the roots, and they go all the way down to white supremacy culture, to anti-blackness, like whatever it is. We need to talk about these things. And we're not just nitpicking, and we're not telling you that you can't say this and you got blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying you can't ever say that sometimes that does happen, go ahead and present me some facts about the number of times that that has happened. But again, draw me a full picture, paint me a full picture of what is going on. Because again, if it is internalized homophobia, they didn't get that themselves. People don't internalize homophobia. You're not born gay and then you fucking hate yourself for it. This world makes us hate ourselves. So if there's anybody to blame, it is the powers that shouldn't be, that continue to oppress us under these systems. And that is the picture that we need to keep painting. Thank you.